When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Muga. This evening I'm joined with the usual suspects. I mean, by this point you know us all, but I'll still go around and introduce everybody. Seb, how you doing, mate?
I'm good. How you doing?
Again, so obviously for those of you who haven't watched the main pod, Seb, from the beginning of the pod to the end, slowly descended into a state of stupor. So I'm hoping that we're able to get this pod done before he does the same again. Michael, we haven't seen you for a while. How you doing, man?
Yeah, been busy, man. Been busy, but I got some time now. What's going on, people?
Yeah, good. You're a doctor, so the fact you're busy again worries me. Give us a scoop. Is there a second? Give us an inside scoop.
Extra shifts, man.
Okay, cool. A man of the people. So everything's under control in terms of COVID numbers coming through. Nothing to worry about, yeah?
Nothing yet, innit? If you've been taking that hydrochloroquine, innit?
Okay, fantastic. Timmy, how you doing, mate?
Good, bro.
Good. You're repping, yeah? Repping the shirt.
Yeah, man. Come on. Yanazai 44. Come on.
Yeah, man. Yanazai. I hope he's all right, wherever he is. And Danny, how you doing, mate? Also repping the shirt.
Yeah, this is a Ajax rip-off.
It's nice,
from the 90s. Yeah. So nice Ajax keep the kit rip-off.
Lovely. Elijah, it's going to be one of them pods today where you're the letter E.
Hey man,
you're giving us an analysis like L from Death Note.
Hey man, it's still 9 a.m. That's all I know, man.
That's all we know, mate. And we're doing an alternative awards special today, so I'm assuming it's going to be 9 a.m. a few times. But before we start, let's talk transfers, transfer news. Go around, get you guys' thoughts. So I'll start with the great news. Alexis Sanchez is leaving our club. The reports are saying that essentially we're waiving a fee due to how much he gets in his wages. Inter are going to cover the first year, and the second and third year he's going to take a pay cut. We'll go around. Michael, Alexis Sanchez, a catastrophic failure. A fantastic video when we signed him. I didn't even know the guy could play the piano. What are your thoughts hearing about this deal?
Bro, like it's just not worked out, man. It's just not worked out, and he needed to go. I think for all parties, it makes sense for him to go. Like he sounds like he's happier over in Italy. We didn't really miss him in truth, and we need to get him off our wage structure. Obviously, 350k a week is a big hit in anyone's wage structure, whether you're Man United or any other team in the Premier League. So. It's good that he's going. Whether we get nothing for him, I don't really mind. I'm just happy that he's going to be off our wage structure, so it allows us more room because we're looking to get more reinforcements this year. So it allows us more room to play with when we're looking at our own transfers. So yeah, good deal around, man. Good deal around. Get him out of the club.
Sweet. Is there anybody who thinks that he didn't get a fair chance here and seeing him doing well in Italy, Rom also doing well in Italy, makes you think that actually let's not sell him, let's bring him back because this is a guy who's a proven scorer at the top level and obviously still has something left in the tank?
For me, the issues with Sanchez were the fact that he lost his legs. So him doing well in Italy isn't really a shock because it's a slower league, less physically demanding. Whereas the Prem, he had his chance and he just seemed so slow. His legs were done. Everything was done at 2 miles an hour. Again, somebody who has had quality previously they're always gonna be able to pull off something. Do you know what I mean? So we see at Inter that he's set up a few goals. These things are always going to happen. You look at Ryan Giggs. He was in the middle of the park at 38, bossing it for Man United. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So if you've had some type of quality, you're going to always be able to, pull off moments. Do you know what I mean? You're going to be able to pull off moments. But for a top Prem level side, somebody that's a team that's aspiring for greater things, and the way how we play football, because we are trying to play, fast and quick, and there's a lot of counter attacks these days. I don't think Sanchez would be the right person for us. So I'm happy.
Cool. Timmy, Sanchez is gone. How did you feel about him when he was coming in? How did you feel when he was playing with us? And now, how do you feel now that he's leaving?
I went from like 0 to 100 back to from 100 to 0 back to 100. So I was bare happy when he signed, bro. I was bare happy. Like Sanchez at Arsenal was unreal, top 3 player in the league for his time there, comfortably. I was buzzing, and we got him for free as well, and we shipped out Mkhitaryan, bro. I can't remember the last time I was that happy with a transfer, but then by the end of his half season, I kind of knew that it just wasn't going to work. He was awful, really bad. So then when he got a loan to Inter, I thought, all right, let's see how he does. I don't actually think he's lit it up out there, to be honest with you. I think since lockdown, he's like come back and he's done a bit. He's been all right, but I don't remember like ever like thinking, oh, wow, Sanchez is doing bits out there. So the fact that we can get all his 400k a week off the table and have nothing to do with him again, I'm back to 100 again, man. I'm buzzing. I'm flipping buzzing. Get the guy gone. That's 400k off the wage budget, bro. Oh my days! I can't even. How do we swindle this, bro? How did we even swindle this? Listen, knock wood, because I'm not even sure that, bro. Intel must come to their senses. They must come to their senses, because this still don't make sense, bro. Honestly, it don't make sense. You're gonna pay him 400k a week for a year, and then you're gonna drop him to 200k a week for a year, all because you don't pay us no money. I mean, it's a bit of maths that I'll have to do, but I just still think
altogether,
that we swindled
30 million they're paying for him, isn't it? When you had the figure, roughly, which is, I guess they'll take
like
the L.
What is he, like 32 now or what? Like,
yeah, the best days are definitely
they're going to be replacing him. They're going to be replacing him like in the season.
You can play in that league until old, though. I think. Like,
till he's he could do writing gigs. Yeah,
but
look at Ashley Young. He's lighting it up. Like, it's a league where it's a slight, like Seb said, it's a slower league where you do get a little touch on the ball. So I don't think they're worried about his age as much as we would be.
The thing
like,
with
Zlatan's 87 and he's doing all right there now.
Yeah,
the thing with being in Italy and being a team like Inter Milan is they're trying to build a force that's ready for Europe as well as anything, as much as anything else. I know they need to conquer their league first to do it, but they also want to be a force in Europe. And signings like Sanchez aren't going to bring them any closer than they were to even getting out of the Champions League group stage.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
But I also do think anyone other than
there's so much better value. I think there's so much better value for wingers in the market. Like, bro, under their nose, there's that Chiesa at Fiorentina. You can literally pay the 50 mil, and I don't even think it would be that much for an Italian team. Pay 40, 50 mil for him, and he's going to be your right winger for the next 5 to 10 years. And he's going to get you further in Europe than Sanchez will ever get you. And he can possibly help you win the league as well. So
the thing
I hear what you're saying.
Any young player does well in Italy, they're looking to leave Italy. So maybe that's why they haven't signed like.
I'm not too sure about that. I'm not too sure about that though.
Italians don't really leave much, do they?
A lot of the best Italian players stay at home.
But you can see how like 50 million on Chiesa, where he could leave in a couple of years. Sanchez ain't going anywhere. He'll probably stay there now, and then he'll go to Penarol.
If Chiesa goes to Inter Milan,
Sampdoria, a little cheeky stint at Sampdoria.
Milan, he's gonna be there long term, and if he ends up ever leaving them, it will be for Juventus.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It'll
be for another Italian team. Like, he's not. If he goes to Inter Milan now, he's staying there for at least 8 years. Do you know what I mean? Because these guys don't go nowhere. All the best Italians, they don't go nowhere until late on in their career, if they even go. Do you know what I mean? Even guys like Totti and Del Piero, they stayed at home, bro.
De Rossi
stayed at home. Buffon stayed at home till he wanted to try and steal a Champions League. And then what happened after that? He went back home. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These man, they're
Immobile tried to go to Germany. He came back home. They do not.
The ones that know.
You know what I mean? But
Cassano as well flopped it when he left.
Yeah.
You're right.
Home. You know what I mean?
I honestly think that Sanchez-Mkhitaryan deal is arguably the worst transfer in the history of transfers.
For the two clubs, nobody benefited.
Nobody did well.
Absolutely up there. It's absolutely up there. It's up there with Veron to United. Fact.
Cool. So we're getting 400k off the wage bill, and immediately looks like we're putting about 200 to 250k back on the wage bill. But I think we'll all be happy about this one. It looks, the links are very strong. A certain Jadon Sancho is coming over. It looks like the deal's going to be structured as 120 million overall, with 70 million the first year, 30 million, and then final 20 million, which is performance related. And I mean, if he ends up fulfilling those, we'll all be happy because that means he's doing his job. Elijah, Sancho, looks like he's coming home. How do you feel?
You know what? At first, I tried to temper my excitement, and then I saw the video of all his goals and assists, and I tried to buy a shirt with his name on it.
That's what we're talking about. We're back, baby.
I was thinking raw.
Yeah?
Nah.
Is that us? Yeah, okay.
Nah. That video was he is amazing, man. He's actually so cold, and to be getting him 20 years old, he's English for at least it'll be at, so we're definitely gonna pay at least 90 million, and then there's another 20 million or so in add-ons. Personally, I think that's a steal when you can consider the amount that João Felix has gone for, that Dembele has gone for, that Coutinho has gone for. I feel like
do you rate him at that level of talent?
Yeah. I think
is that quid or euros as well?
Yeah, so that'll be 90 million pounds and then 18 million in add-ons. So, I mean, he to me, he's definitely that level of talent, because I didn't realize that this is the second season where he's basically done a double with goals and assists, where he's got he's got double figures with goals and assists. So this season was 17 and 16. Last season it was 12 and 14. Like those are crazy numbers to be getting, and that is him at 20 years old and 19 years old. Like it is, fam, it's insane. Like, and just to add that to what we already have, where we have Martial and Rashford, got Bruno, and then we've got Martial, Rashford, Bruno, and Greenwood. So that's just like the front part of the pitch is almost complete, basically. So yeah, I'm so excited, man. I can't lie.
It's a cheeky 15 mil for Josh King, and all will be well with the world, I guess. Cool. So I wanted to ask, for those of you who have watched him, because I think he's obviously going to come over with a big price tag and a lot of pressure. Opposition are going to want to see him fail, and we're going to want return on our buck immediately, so we can, all grab our Sancho shirts and celebrate with them on the pod. And for those of you who have watched him, what sort of player are we getting? Because I feel like there may be a bit of a misconception about the player that's coming over. So let's talk about him stylistically, and I'm opening that up to any of you who've watched him.
I ain't watched him. I just saw that clip, the YouTube thing that everyone's been watching. And what I have noticed, and now I know it's YouTube, but all of those goals and assists, he makes himself. He looks like a player you can give the ball and he'll, like when we struggle against these low block teams, or we used to, he might be able to do that, just a little bit of sauce to unlock that on his own. And we got 3 of them now. So when players have like double Mark Rashford, like that's the key. We've got 3 players now in Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, and Sancho, 4 now that you can't mark everyone. So one of them will be able to. So you can stand on Bruno. It doesn't matter. We'll give it Sancho. You can stand on Martial, bark him twice. It doesn't matter now. We've got threats everywhere. Love it. Unless he's shit. Is anyone honestly worried about the Dortmund thing though? About the Kagawa and Mkhitaryan, how they were pulling up trees in Dortmund?
I mean, there's a German tax, definitely. When you watch that league, it's very attacking. Teams don't put much emphasis on defending, so guys who are talented are going to put up numbers. But like Elijah says, for his age, his numbers are ridiculous. So let's factor in a Bundesliga tax, and let's say you want to say that maybe he only produces at 2/3 of what he did for Dortmund. That's still a top player, and for me, it's our talent assessment. Kagawa, is a player that in a different team he probably does a bit better. Like I think Kagawa's a good player, maybe in the right system, very good. Mkhitaryan has always had this issue where he was talented, but his form was always up and down. And really, he had that one standout season with Tuchel where he did an absolute madness and he got his moves. But you think back to watching Dortmund in the Champions League, and the memories that stick out to me of Mkhitaryan is missing 3 sitters against Real Madrid, and then Real Madrid coming,
and versus Arsenal as well. That game, he was so bad.
It's funny.
He's one of the worst players I've seen at United. He makes me sick.
It's so weird because on a talent basis, he's got attributes, but obviously it's always that conversation about your attributes coming together with your mental fortitude, and it seemed like on the mental side he was lacking somewhat. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, and
I'll say it.
And so with Sancho, I think he knows he doesn't know what he's coming into. It's a massive club, but listen, he's coming in. He's got friends here. The lights will always, hopefully Pogba stays, but the lights will always be on Pogba first before it's on any of you lot. And we've got a good thing going, young, talented attacking players, all looking to create chances, link up with each other. It's just putting them all in the best position to make that happen. So, yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it.
What would you lot's front four be next season if we sign Sancho?
I think Greenwood goes to the bench.
Yeah.
And I know that's harsh because he's done really well. And the ceiling for Greenwood is he plays as much as he possibly can. So he gets up there as quickly as he can. But I think this means that he can come in on the right. He can come in up front. You can even move Sancho to the left and Greenwood can come in on the right. But I think naturally the other three are going to be ahead of him in the pecking order.
There's going to be loads of games as well.
Yeah,
there'll be games for everyone, man. It'll be well.
Set man might bench Bruno though. I ain't gonna name no names.
Thanks for the memories, Bruno. I'll say it straight. Thanks for the memories, Bruno. Thanks for top 3.
Sancho can take pens now.
Rashford needs his penalties back.
That Leicester game, that was a full of shame. Still, he's lucky, bro.
But hit the bench straight up. I'm sorry.
He was dead as well. Everyone was dead. So legs now we've got more legs. It's better for everyone. I hate these fans that are like, we don't want to sign so and so because it'll stop so and so coming through. Like, if they're good enough, they'll play it instead of them. That's how it works, man. You want the best players.
They'll get games.
Yeah, facts.
Look at City. No one's gone, they don't want to sign so-and-so because they've got John Stones. Like,
you bring him in
and he's better than Stones.
Yeah, you bring him in and the best man wins. And I think, obviously, we know Martial historically is injury-prone. We know, obviously, Rashford had a serious injury this year, which is going to basically follow him for the rest of his career. And we know that the options off the bench are shocking. So,
100%. 100%.
Bringing a player of Sancho's level, you can't say no. Can't say no.
That Michael Owen thing is a worry with like Greenwood. You don't want to burn this kid out before he's 22. Like, I know he's like flying, but it's not going to do him any harm having half a season on the bench, really.
Or just half a season coming in here, playing the League Cup, playing the minnows in the Champions League. Obviously, Timmy, that's what I was going to say. Timmy, you said he's getting 30.
You know what I mean, bro? I'm sorry, Mason. Bro, I'm on record.
You're gonna burn him out to me, yeah? You're gonna burn him out for your bet.
Bro.
You're like Chris Kirkland's dad, who had that bet when he was like 7.
I'm telling you, I've said some mad stuff about Greenwood, bro. Nope. He must play. He must play. Trust me. Anyway, bro, I know my guy, fam, and Murder Mace, bro. Mace, fam.
He'll do his thing, yeah.
Bro.
Just hope he doesn't end up like Mace and have one season and then disappear.
Yeah. Don't worry.
Don't leave while you're hot. Don't leave while you're hot. That's how Mace fucked up, innit? Cool. So we're gonna go to the next part of the pod, which is our alternative awards show. I'll shout out our sister pod, Chessy Hour, and I was listening to the episode they did last week, and they did an alternative awards show, and I thought, you know what? That sounds like a bit of us. Well, listen, we're all part of the Touchline media group. So, you know, what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine. Yeah, so we're going to do an alternative awards show today. Before we start, though, I have to plug our socials. I forgot to plug our socials. Too gassed by the transfer news. So, obviously, naturally, we've got our Discord community. That's growing now. We're at 900, getting close to 1,000 Discord members. The football chat's going to keep buzzing because the Champions League is going to be going on in the Europa League, and we're going to be holding Discord lives for those games. Obviously, the NBA season is back. So for those of you who watch basketball, our NBA chat is popping. The first episode of Courtside Fracas is dropping this evening. So get in there early. Obviously, our YouTube channel, all the pods are on YouTube. So if you want to hear people cuss each other out, but also want to see people cuss each other out, then you can hop on the YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, though, because, you know, we need the subscribers. And then finally, the Patreon. Our first month for Patreon, just want to thank all of those who have subscribed to the Patreon, continues to subscribe to the Patreon. Yeah, we're going to have lots and lots of content coming for you guys over the next few months. So it's only going to get bigger and better. So with business being taken care of, let's get to the other side of things. Let's start with our alternative awards ceremony. So I think it was yesterday I sent a message to all of you to give me your answers for the following categories. So it was biggest flex, which is a moment or game from our season you are most chuffed about. Give me more of that. A moment or game you'd love to relive. Biggest L, moment or game of our season that you felt we took the biggest or most embarrassing loss in. Cast member of the year. And then Wayne Rooney Award, so the individual who showed the most spirit, aggression, nastiness, and humor. So I'm going to start with biggest flex. This was one of the awards that there was no clear winner, and you'd expect that because we have so many different opinions in here. So about 5-6 of you sent in your answers, and I got 5 or 6 different answers. So we're going to go through the different options here, and as a group, we're going to choose who we're going to give that award to. I'll start with the first one. So the biggest flex was beating City 2-1 away. The counter-attacking display, and I think a mention of 29% possession. Not going to put any names to these votes because I want, you know, ambiguity to reign supreme. So let's talk about that game. We didn't lose to City this season. Do you know we lost to them once? Did we?
We lost once in the cup.
3-0.
The first
leg. But other than that, we beat them all the other times. So yeah, the 2-1 game against City. Michael, what were your thoughts about that game?
I think that was a game where I don't think the expectation was on Man United to win. I think the expectation was that City was just going to cream us. And for us to go there, and I think for the first half an hour, we were just flying against them. Absolutely, that breaking, like the proper United way. And we took our chances, obviously, with the penalty and then Martial's goal. And we actually defended quite well that game. Obviously, got a few lucky breaks, and obviously, we got the win. So that's definitely, for me, that's one of the better times of our season. That was December, if I recall. So that's before the whole Bruno effect. Like, we know how the team was.
You almost glistened a bit more when you said that. The Bruno effect.
The Bruno effect, bro. I know Timmy don't like man, and I know he gets more praise than he should, but he transformed the season. Let's not gas. So before Bruno come in, I don't know where we were going to finish. Probably 6, 7, 8. It could have been any number. You pick it. So yeah, I think that surprised me. And I think for the team we had that day, for us to go City and win, and then trying to finish the title race, I think that's a big flex.
Cool. Anyone want to follow up on that?
Yeah, I love those. As much as you want United to just go out and steamroll teams, a nice little shithouse win is still cool when you know when
something for the soul, especially when the opposition feel they've been robbed by like a decision or something. Give me more of that, man. Give me that drug. I need it so badly. Man.
You take 4 of them a year. Like, as much as you want to go out and like smash Bournemouth 8-0, like it's still like, especially against those big teams as well, that, like you say, that feel like they're going to come and do you. Like those sort of like alley on the ropes, you're swinging, and then like sucker punch, Brad Pitt in Snatch, where you feel like you're going to knock him out, and then he just comes and hits you with an uppercut. That's how it felt, that City game. It was great. 29% possession's amazing. It's like it's just, it's awesome. Especially like with Pep as well, who's like, oh, we keep the ball. This is what we do. Just to use that against him. Dark magic. Love it.
Love it. Anyone else? 2-1 away against City? No.
Probably one of our best wins of the season.
Okay. I have a feeling like their investment's going to be in their pick, and nobody wants to hype up anybody else's. And I respect that. I'm dealing with a bunch of.
Does that mean that was Michael's pick then?
No, it wasn't Michael's pick. I just know Michael likes those types of games. Don't try and guess whose pick it is. That's not
Timmy trying to do some deductive reasoning.
That might have been mine. Was that mine?
Because no one else said anything, innit?
No, also Danny, innit? Danny was like nodding along, and obviously I can't see Elijah.
So it was 1 or 2, innit? So,
maybe not. I can't see Elijah, and obviously Elijah's like an encyclopedia when it comes to matches, so I could have gone to him as well. But
I don't care. People knowing that might have been my pick. My pick was quite
no. When your pick comes up, you'll know which one your pick was.
Right. Okay.
The second one was finishing third after where we were late in January, so that was a big flex. So, Timmy, what do you think of that big flex?
Bro, finishing third can never be a flex to me, bro. It can never ever be a flex to me. I don't care who is better than us. I don't care that City and Liverpool are way better than us. That's
what
not
about
flex,
from where we
bro.
were in late January? Finishing third looked.
Where were we in late January?
We were what? Goals wise, we were, what was it, like 15, 20 goals behind Leicester. And we were how many points behind them? Was it 10, 12? Elijah?
We were like 14. I remember we were 14 at one point.
14 points.
At one point. 14. But how many points were we behind City? Not City, sorry. Chelsea,
I think, was 8.
It was like 8 points behind Chelsea. And did we have a game in hand or something?
Nope.
No game in hand.
That was sick.
Because I'm not going to lie to you, I always thought we was going to finish top 4.
Oh, wow.
I always thought we were going to finish top 4. Don't know why, but maybe it was just blind faith, but I always thought we were going to finish top 4.
Mate, there was a time in that season I thought we might finish 8th.
I'm telling you, I always
Bruno
thought...
You felt like before Bruno.
Bro, listen, like I said, maybe it's blind faith, but there was too much riding on it, and I just thought we're going to finish top 4. Wow. Because I never, all season, I never thought that Chelsea were great, and they were the team that was occupying 4. And I legit thought that we could close the gap on them. I genuinely thought we could keep closing the gap on them. I remember there was, maybe it was definitely after Bruno came, and there was a time we were 5 points behind Chelsea with a game in hand to go 2 points behind them. I think it might have been the Everton game that we ended up drawing. But around that time, I always just thought, I always thought, I just always thought that we was going to finish above Chelsea. I didn't think we'd finish third, but I thought that we'd finish in the top 4. And I just don't think that's a flex. It's a great achievement to come back from that far, but it's not really a flex for me, man. I'm not going to lie to you.
That's crazy that you thought we'd always finish third, because I reckon if
top four.
If not for coronavirus, we're not finishing in the top 4, because Pogba doesn't come back. Rashford doesn't come back. Greenwood doesn't get to have the physical development he had in the downtime. But yeah, go on.
In case you don't remember, Pogba was due to come back for the Spurs game. There was talks that he was going to be on the bench for the Spurs game. In fact, I think the game before did we have City before? We had City before, right?
Yeah.
There was even talks of Pogba being on the bench for that game, and he missed out completely. But I don't know if you remember the form that we were in. This was when Fred was actually playing well.
Yeah, we were flying.
Yeah, we were actually flying, and we were 5 points behind Chelsea?
Yeah.
And in my head, I was still thinking Chelsea still need to play Liverpool. Chelsea still need to play City. Chelsea still need to play Wolves again. They still had to go, they didn't have Leicester no more. They still had Sheffield United. So Chelsea still had tough games. So I was always looking ahead at the games. And I always thought that our fixtures were more favourable. You know what I thought? I expect us to win our last 8 games anyway.
And we had Tottenham as well, and they had no players. They had
and they had no one. So we were
Soldado would have got a game.
Exactly. And I can't remember who Chelsea were meant to play that weekend, but I thought that they wouldn't win that game. I can't remember who it was, but I thought that they wouldn't win that game. And I literally thought, because Oh, was it like 3 points we were behind them?
Who was their first game back?
Villa. So they would have faced Villa that
No.
weekend.
Then yeah, I didn't think they
You were gassing.
Yeah, I didn't think they were. But I just know that I remember looking at Chelsea's fixtures, thinking, "Nah, we're going to finish above these guys, and we should have comfortably. They shouldn't have. Well, they played better than them, but I didn't think that they would beat City like they did. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, cool. That's fair enough. You raised some good points there.
City through that. That's another chat.
That's another pod. That's another pod. Why City through the game against Chelsea? Seb, where we were in late Jan to finish top 3, biggest flex. What's your shout?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel like that's a big achievement, because although we were flying when Bruno eventually come in or whatever, look at the state of the players now. Shattered, absolutely shattered, running on fumes, and we would have, had to rely on Martial to score all the goals with nobody else backing him up. And I just feel like eventually he would have hit a wall or potentially got injured. So like lockdown definitely saved us. I knew we would catch Leicester, like 100% knew we would catch Leicester. But even the goal scoring thing, I feel was sick. Again, being what was that 20 goals behind them or whatever. I feel like that's like amazing. Just even like Greenwood stepping up and just, putting teams to the sword. That whole aspect of everything was quite good. And as Danny said, there was a time in the season where I thought like we'd finish 8th. Like I generally thought we'd finish 8th, but then after Leicester started to drop points and indeed he got injured and all of these things started to work in our favour, then I thought, yeah, okay, would 100% catch them. So, but the fact that we actually done it and we executed it, and as I said, and we always used to laugh, like just before lockdown, I'll say, oh, it's going to the last day, and you'll be like, oh, you want it to go to the last day, and I'm like, bro, I feel like it's going to the last day.
You did.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's going to the last day, and to beat Leicester on the last day, is sick. And as Timmy said, a flex for United should never ever be finishing 3rd. But in comparison to where we are as a club currently and to where we were in the season, and with all the injuries we had, I feel like I just got to respect it.
Yeah, I hear that for real. That's a good point you made there. Both of you made some great points. The next one was Martial's hat-trick against Sheffield United. Elijah, why do you think that is that's a good candidate for biggest flex of the year?
I mean, that was the first Premier League hat-trick we scored since Van Persie won the league, to be honest.
Man said or not, like Elijah was going to come in with something different.
Hey, man, there's absolutely no way I'm coming with anything.
It's Timmy, man. Timmy's just trying to guess who the people are, man. It's I'm having to overthink who I'm asking the questions to. Like, do I throw a spanner? Like, the last one wasn't Timmy, but I asked Timmy, so Timmy would get the idea. See, I can ask anyone, mate. I even asked you, and it's not yours. And then obviously, Elijah hasn't spoken for a while, and the next one is whatever. Don't care. Go on, Elijah.
Yeah, man. But that was the first hat trick we scored in the Premier League since 2013 when we won the league. I think it was the Van Persie one versus Villa.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a really good hat trick, to be honest. It was the first 2 goals were just like the more prototype goals that we've been begging for him to score, and then the third one to cap it off, just it had Pogba, Bruno, Rashford, and then the little dink to put over the keeper. It was great. No, it was a really good hat trick, and I think from that point on, it was weird because it was like it felt like that hat trick made him have the taste for goals. So, for example, versus Aston Villa, where he was itching to get that goal, and then he hits the bar, and then Solskjaer takes him off, and it's almost like he's sulking because he wasn't able to get a goal, and then you actually saw Solskjaer smiling about that because you could tell like he was itching to get a goal. You can actually tell now that if he doesn't get a goal, he's not happy with his performance. Whereas before, he might have been happy to play well and get an assist and not score. Whereas now, it doesn't look like that, and he just looks a much bigger threat to be honest. And that came after game versus Spurs, where there were a lot of complaints about him not being involved in the game as much, and how he needs to back up his idea. So to hit back with that performance and that hat trick was really good.
Yeah. Danny, Martial's hat trick against Sheffield United. A long time coming, some may say, but biggest flex of the year. What do you think?
Yeah, it's defo flex. Like the one before, like finishing third is still a flex. Like all these things, they're all good flexes. Like that, because you forget how shit we've been. I know Timmy's like, oh, third's not a flex, but that's the only time we finished. We finished that second once and third since Fergie's left, and it's the same with Martial's hat trick. Like anything that we can now do that we haven't done since Fergie's been here is progress and is a flex. And like Elijah said, like watching him get greedy. Because sometimes our strikers have been a bit like not greedy enough they've looked for like a little square ball and stuff like that, and that was always the criticism leveled at Martial, is that he doesn't score them, the scrappy goals. Like that's what you need. Like if you look at those like pullback goals, like Sterling gets about 8 of them a season, 8 or 9, and that's what we need from our strikers. Those little cross the box tap-ins out from 6 yards. So it was great to see. And also, it's great to see that players are getting in that position, like on the right wing, where they can pull crosses back. Like Wan-Bissaka crossed one, I think, for one of the goals, the first or the second. So that's just great to see as well. The whole round. Hat-trick was a great hat-trick.
Yeah. The next supposed flex is the 4-0 versus Chelsea / Greenwood's emergence. Sebi, how big is that flex?
Yeah, no, I feel like that was our first game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a live show.
You know what's funny? Yeah, because Meads was super confident that day. So just like the way how it panned out was just excellent, and the fact that it was the first Ollie versus Lamps in the Prem. Lamps Chelsea boy. Yeah, I was really, really happy with that. Obviously, Rash bagging 2 goals on that day. I was happy with that. But yeah, man, I feel like that kind of set up like a little battle between the Chelsea and United fans, for the start of the season, which I thought was quite interesting. And yeah, Greenwood's emergence was sick, but probably like what he's become now compared to then is like chalk and cheese. I
think the Greenwood's emergence isn't related to that game. It's kind of
I'm talking about that period. Oh,
okay, yeah. So I know, just mean it's kind of his emergence this season is a flex.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. No, come on. Yeah, but as I was saying, like that period, like very earlier on when he's playing Europa and stuff like that, compared to like now, is like chalk and cheese, man. Like it's what he is. He's like again, like physically, he's able to hold off players. He's deciding games, and that's something that we needed. And he fired us into the Champions League. Really, if we kind of think about it, he definitely fired us into that. But yeah, man, like beating Chelsea 4-0 was brilliant. Game was easy. Yeah, man, light work, man.
Light work. Timmy, the 4-0 against Chelsea. The 4-0 against Chelsea and Greenwood's emergence. How big a flex?
I think the 4-0 probably our best win of the season after City away. Where it was first game of the season, everyone was buzzing. I was at Old Trafford that day. Lampard against Ollie, these two like managers that are legends at their club. Lampard's first game in the Prem, both got young squads, like both looking towards the future. And no matter what anyone says, no matter all the possession Chelsea had, like we were so clinical on that day, and it was just so good to watch as well. Like for a team that doesn't really score, that wasn't really scoring like a plethora of goals anyway, or creating like a plethora of chances, for us to beat a fellow top 4 contender so convincingly, and it actually like indirectly both wins against Chelsea like basically secured our top 4 as well. Like, Chelsea fans can't say anything to us. It was just a great win. Rashford with his 2 goals, Martial with a great goal, Dan James on his debut with a goal, Pogba with an amazing assist. Like, that for me, that's my favourite game of the season. That's my favourite game of the season because I just loved how like clinical we were in front of goal. But as for Greenwood, I think that speaks for himself, man. 17 goals this season. Basically our best player during our final stretch of games. Player of the month, obviously, in July. Like, he's really the reason that we finished 3rd. And the fact that now we're looking at him as a top 5 under 21 player in world football right now. No one thought that we'd be looking at him like this at the end of the season. I think everyone here would have been happy if he got a young 8 goals for the season or something. Do you know what I mean? He's got 17 and he's well on his way to becoming our best attacker. So yeah, I think that's our biggest flex, to be honest with you, Greenwood, because in a season where you don't win anything, obviously we've still got Europa League, but in a season where you don't win anything and, you know, finishing 3rd seems to be our highlight. Like, something like that, for me, is bigger than ever finishing 3rd. Like, a next generational talent coming from Carrington. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's not many better feelings than that.
Sweet. The next flex is Rashford's free kick against Chelsea. Michael, I don't even need to tell you to remember that one because it still stands out in our memories. How big a flex was that free kick?
It was, as I think the commentator even said it at the time, was Ronaldo-esque, like fully 40 yards out. You had no right. Somebody, I was like, right, he's got to go for it. Like, that's what my first opinion. He's got to go for it. And then the way he just hit it, it dipped. And then, like, it just moved in the air. So then Willy Caballero he just had no chance, man. And that's when I was like, rah, because I don't think we've really had a free kick taker for the last few years. So I was like, rah, can Rashford step up and be that guy? That's what I was thinking after it. And I think that's when he was definitely...
Danny said no, and it's funny because earlier today, a couple things. Danny said no. Seb is livid that he didn't think of this one, but also, Seb was talking earlier today about the variety of goals that Rashford scored. That free kick against Chelsea, like not many guys could score that, and somebody was like, "Yeah, Rashford probably won't ever score that again." You probably can't take that spot, unfortunately, Michael. But Elijah, said before I was going to come to you, didn't you? Elijah, Rashford's free kick against Chelsea.
Anyways, as I was going to say, so the streets would say that free kick was from 75 yards out. So it was one of the best free kicks I've ever seen in my life. I am pissed I didn't think of that. But yeah, Elijah, over to you now, mate.
Thank you. Do you know what? Yeah, I still remember that. And I was thinking, because Rashford had basically built up this reputation of just putting the ball into the stands from those types of free kicks. So I saw it run up to it, I'm thinking, not again. And then when it went in, I was screaming. That is the best free kick I've seen since the Ronaldo one versus Portsmouth. It was just so fake. The movement in the air, like it twitched. It just twitched a bit and then just went all over the place, and like it was a crazy free kick. And that was in a game where we didn't even do much really. We had a pen and a free kick, and that was both for Rashford. That was really at the start of when Rashford kicked into form, because I think that was after the Liverpool game, if I remember correctly, because it was late October. But that free kick was insane. Like it, like he won't be able to do. I really don't think he'll be able to do that again, because it just even where it was on the pitch, it was right in the center of the goal. To even get at an angle that he did is so ridiculous. That goal was that's wow, like that might be the best goal post for Fergie, man, because that is ridiculous. It's
cool. And our final biggest flex is Ollie having Pep and Lampard in his pocket. Danny, how big of a flex is that one?
I just think for a supposed Norwegian PE teacher, like there's still questions about Ollie, obviously, but it's not an accident that he's done this Like he's gone and he's done it to Mourinho as well, and he took points off Klopp before anyone else. He just seems to have a thirst for the big games, which is cool because you'd think that they're the hardest ones to win, and then when he sorts out beating these little teams, which was his problem, which with Sancho now and Bruno looks like that might have been dusted, then it looks good for next season if he can carry that on. Like, to have Pep on toast like he did, and Pep was well pissed off as well because he didn't want to get beat by Ole, you can see. And to do that to Lampard when Lampard wants to come in, like as arrogant as Lampard, as we've seen all that thing with Liverpool arguing with the bench and that, he fancies himself a bit. So to not be able to get one over Ole like until the very end, all right, it was a semi-final. But to have Ole doing 3 times is just great. I think it's a big flex from Ole.
Seb, how big is that flex? Because I mean, you were in the Discord chat on Saturday only to check that Lampard wouldn't have any bragging rights over Ole in terms of having had a better season. So how big is the flex that Ole had the better of Lampard and Fraudiola this season?
You know what? It's more so the Fraudiola thing. Now it's Lampard because of just like of what we've got going on within the chat, but like on a general football level, it's Fraudiola because City have been smacking us up for time, bro. Like they've been smacking us left, right, and centre. Or season on season, game on game.
It's been bad, hasn't it?
It's been bad, as in absolutely battering us, yeah, where sometimes it should have been 5 and 6s and we've just been lucky. Even the game that we won 3-2 and we came back at half-time, so we came back with Pogba or whatever, that game was luck. We didn't play well. We had 3 good moments. That was it. And we just managed to execute those 3 good passages of play. We managed to execute that and get 3 goals. That was his biggest flex. That was literally it. But other than that, City have been smashing us up. They've been smashing us up. So to actually get 3 wins over City, fucking, absolutely amazing. And then on top of that is the second leg of the League Cup. So the second leg of the Cup, was it the FA Cup or the League Cup? Sorry. The second leg of League Cup, we actually smashed them up. So it wasn't like a shithouse thing. We actually smashed them up. And then also the one where McTominay scored, we smashed them up as well. Do you know what I mean? And that those were really impressive wins for me. And just the Lampard thing on a general fan-to-fan level, I'm happy that, we managed to get the best out of Lampard 75% of the time. That's
got the making of a Fergie Wenger thing, that, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Because obviously they're the poster boys of club greats coming back and getting the job off their reputation. But are you actually any good at your job? And they've kind of obviously Ollie's been here a bit longer, but they're kind of being compared to each other constantly. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
Both of them are super average, man. That can never be Fergie Wenger, bro.
You think
I'm hit on that, like the rivalry thing. Like that could be the league's rivalry because
I don't think they hate each other either. Like,
I think the fans are bringing it up more than anything.
The bad blood. It doesn't have the bad blood that like Wenger and Fergie had.
But neither did that at first.
I don't think that even the bad blood just naturally came because we were the top 2 teams competing. Once Arsenal became irrelevant, they became best mates. Fergie, come round for a bit of wine. Let's have a bit of wine.
That's very true.
Have a bit of wine after the game.
You know why that's debatable? Because I know Fergie took extra pride in slapping up Arsenal, bro.
Nah,
like, even the 8-2, bro. In so many games,
he told them to calm down for the
He told them to calm down, and we back 8, bro. He
told him to calm down.
He didn't tell no one to calm down.
Nah. Boys, calm.
Fergie actually said that. He told them to calm down. But the thing is, Fergie 100% in his later years respected Wenger because he said that, as in they actually had a personal relationship. Eventually, it's one of those ones where I've banged you up bare times now. Let's just be blessed, innit? Let's just be blessed, man.
But I'll tell you this: if they were still competing, no way they have that relationship late.
No way.
Think about Fergie and Mourinho over the 3 years that Mourinho was at Chelsea. Like, bro, they was licking each other's arse every.
But you know why though?
It
There
was
was no joke.
Mourinho played it very
and
well.
Chelsea was
Mourinho played it
slapping
very
our
well.
head.
It was
Mourinho played it very
Mourinho.
well because
Yeah.
you're the big boss. So
He
every time we
threaded him.
win, like
Yes.
you're the greatest. You know, we beat you, but you're still the greatest. So what else was Fergie gonna do? All right, cool. You're the next up and coming manager.
Yeah.
You're doing your thing, and
But that's
eventually
kind of what these men are like now, though.
No,
because
I think
Fergie, for me, Fergie and Wenger, similar ages, so they were both kind of similar ages. We were dominating. They came in and they're both like old men, and now they're cool. Mourinho, there was just a different dynamic. He's what 20, 25 years younger than Fergie. Fergie, by the time he came in, reputation was solidified, and basically, in the end, he even defeated Mourinho. Mourinho had to leave because Fergie sent him packing, but he always paid reverence. And
yeah, no, I hear you.
I think it's going to get spicy next year as well.
I don't think Ollie and Lampard have got the character for that, bro.
I think they do. I think Lampard is the one that's going to kickstart it because Lampard has already been throwing shade. Lampard's been throwing shade. The lot before the FA Cup, he threw shade. He's been speaking about the refs, and then even Lampard with Klopp as well. That's already heating up. So I feel like Lampard is going to be the protagonist. He's going to be the one that's actually starting it, and he's already started it anyway.
Yeah.
So going into next season, especially Lampard's going to be saying, "Cool, they've done you over in the league 3 times or 2 times. Sorry, they've done you in the league 2 times. We got them once. Let's start strong." That's going to be the first game. Even with them and Liverpool. Remember what happened last time? You remember? And I 100% feel like these are young managers. So within the next 2-3 years, these are all things that can start to play out.
Similarities as well. They've got a new front three.
It'll be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, and obviously Chelsea want to be Manchester United.
And remember Sancho. Sancho initially wanted to go Chelsea, and then eventually he looks like he's coming to Man United. So these are all things that can play a narrative and add to the story.
Cool. So that's all the biggest flex nominees. Who do we have taking the biggest flex award for this season, then, lads? I'll run down them again so you guys can have them fresh in your memory. Beating City 2-1 away, the counter-attacking display. Finishing third after where we were in late January, early February. The Martial hat-trick. The 4-0 versus Chelsea or Greenwood's emergence. Rash's free kick against Chelsea. Oli having Pep and Lampard in his pocket.
I'll go Greenwood.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm going to go Greenwood as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, edges it for me.
Cool, that's
I'm gonna go Oli versus Lampard and Pep.
Cool, that's nice. So that's 4-1 for Greenwood. So the winner of our biggest flex award is Mason Greenwood and his emergence this season. Fantastic. And that was Timmy's vote there.
Come on,
yeah.
1-0,
man. I can tell.
No.
I can tell.
Why you say 1-0? It's not a competition.
It's a competition for me, fam. Get me? Hey, any bragging rights I can get, I'm taking it, fam.
Cool. So the next one is give me more of that, or give me more of that. It's a moment that from the season or moment, game, whatever that you would love to relive. Again, no winner here because every person gave a different answer. So I'm going to go down the list. I'll start with Rashford's performance versus Spurs. Sebi, well, pick a name out of the hat. Sebi, Rashford's performance versus Spurs.
Give me
and
more
why is that a
of
moment
that, man. Give me more of that, man. Give me more of that. Spiritual performance, man. Just because of what that actually meant to the club. So that was Jose's return, number 1. Number 2, that was also how how Jose treated Rashford and Martial. It was always one or the other. It was always you asked why I always play Lukaku. Now you see why. Now you see why I play Lukaku. Him throwing his arms out at Rashford, which Rashford's brother posted at the end of the game, which was sweet justice.
Did he?
Yeah,
what
he
game
posted
was it when he turned around to the crowd and was like, "Come on, man."
Yeah. So
hey, Jose is a villain. Come on, that's your player. How can you do that in public? Come on, man. Look at you. Turn the crowd. Oh, look at this guy, man. He's your boy, yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah. So Rashford's brother actually posted that like at the end of the game that reaction. But just like Rashford's overall performance on that day, he really should have had 3 or 4. which it was a bit disappointed that he didn't, get the hat trick at a bare minimum. But just he was up against two PMP players. One in Sissoko, so Sissoko was there to double up with Aurier, and the fact that he battered both of them was just so impressive, because like, even when we was discussing on the main pod on whose performance was better out of Trent and Rashford yesterday, and I was like, Rashford, I'm taking everything into context rather than just the Trent. Oh, cool, he played super sick. I'm taking in Rashford, a pressure game versus his old manager who doubted him, to who he was up against Sissoko and Aurier. Yeah, so just battering them two and doing what he done on that day, for me, yeah, just give me more of that. If you could keep up that level, mate, unstoppable.
Cool. Michael, Rashford's performance against Spurs. So give me more of that moment for the season. How did you feel watching him play that game when you were watching it?
He was on job that day, man. Like he was just possessed. Like as obviously he clearly wanted to get one over Mourinho, and he was just, everything was going through him. Like, obviously the keeper probably should have saved the first one, if I'm going to be real, his first shot, but still he took an early shot and surprised the keeper, so fair play to him. And obviously he put away the penalty and that pressure moment. So I think that's what definitely that first half of the season, Rashford was carrying the whole team, and we could tell when he got injured, the prospects were looking a hell of a lot worse until Bruno came into the fold. So yeah, Rashford first half of the season, for me, he was our player of the year, and I think that performance typified that.
Cool. Our next give me more of that moment was 2-1 away versus City. We've had that before, but we'll have it again. Timmy, the 2-1 away versus City, so give me more of that moment. I mean, we just spoke about it in regards to being the biggest flex. What about that game made you want to relive it again? Was it the fact that it was a rival? Was it the shithousery? What exactly was it?
So I guess you could take a few things into consideration of this, really. The fact that it was City away is one. The fact that Rashford and Martial both put in 9 out of 10 performances is two. The manner of the victory is three. So, yeah, I think that's a decent give me more of that moment, going into big away games and just counter-attacking a stronger team more than likely, a stronger team to death, and actually getting the job done as well. Yeah, man, I think it's not a bad shout, to be fair. Yeah, I'll have some of that. I'll have some of that. Basically, everything Semi said earlier. Yeah, you can give me some more of that, bro.
Give me some more of that. Facts. Cool. Another nominee for give me more of that moment is Martial's goal against Watford. Elijah, Martial's goal against Watford, how highly does that rank for you in his goals this season? Top 3, top 5?
I personally think that's his best goal.
Okay.
Like, the thing is, it was weird. It was a weird performance because he was actually pretty poor that game, and he missed the. It wasn't a chance, but it was like a half chance where he snatched it and he just went over the bar. And then in the second half, so he gets put through, and then he's 1-on-1, and you're thinking that he's going to slot it, and then he doesn't, and then you're just thinking it's just going to be one of those days where he doesn't score, and then to pull off what he done is just,
ingenuity.
It's just like the stuff that guy can just do in a tight space is just ridiculous, man. Like, just you could just tell that his brain just goes into a mode where you can tell he's not thinking. It's just so
natural reaction.
It's just so natural for him, and like just to do what he done, like it's not even the little dink. It's just the way he stepped on the ball and done the little flick between the legs, and like you just like no one expect like if you actually hear the crowd noise, it's not like they're celebrating a goal. They're just celebrating the surprise of that it was actually able to pull that off.
Almost like everybody stopped for a second. Like,
it was a bit like it's just like it's what like you always hear the United players say like Martial on training is just one of the best players that they see, and like even after the game, I think Greenwood said that's just a Martial thing to do.
A normal finish.
Yes,
I can imagine him putting guys on their bums in training consistently.
Yeah, so it's not even just about like the chip and just like the composure, just to like even after the chance had gone, to fashion another chance under that pressure and just to dig something out. It's ridiculous, man. That was an amazing goal.
Yeah. Danny, back in the mixer. For our give me more of that moment, Martial's goal against Watford. What did you think? Why did you want more of that? No, not flex. Give me more of that.
That's what I like to see Martial doing. He's like, because he's capable of that, and like we were chatting before about it's good that he can score the scrappy goals and that, but I want to see him do that all this like that. It was the turn. It wasn't even the chip. The chip.
That's literally what Elijah just said.
Look here again, and like the keeper probably should have saved it, but like just the turn, he sent the guy to the shop, and it was just great to see. He could do that all the time. Love him, man.
Lovely stuff. Give me more of that. Fernandez's second goal against Brighton, brilliant counter-attack football. Sebi, I know you remember that one. It was where I was like, right, these men are running rampant.
Yeah.
Give me more of that moment. Tell us your thoughts.
It was reminiscent of the Fergie days. So I thought that was probably one of the main things is that everybody had that nostalgia type of effect watching that goal, which I thought was really, really cool. Over the years we've tried counter-attacks like that, and we've always had one idiot, whether that be Rom slowing it down and doing some dumb shit, or other players that have been in the mix and doing some dumb shit, and our counter-attacks never ever come off fluent. So the fact that come off fluent, and I was happy that Mason Greenwood got the assist, because I was interested to see what he'd do in that position. And if he had the capability to pull off a pass like that, because Rashford was coming through the middle, so I just wanted to see what he's what he's thinking would be in that position, and if he had the ability to execute passing, because we know he can finish. So the fact that he executed the cross really, really well, and Bruno, that's such an easy chance to miss if you don't concentrate. So the fact that he also connected on the volley, it was excellent. I definitely want to see more goals like that.
Agreed. And Maguire's goal versus Chelsea, Timmy, give me more of that. It's Maguire, so I'm probably asking the wrong person, but I'm asking you anyway. Maguire's goal against Chelsea plus the celebration, which you love to see. Do you want more of that?
What, a defender scoring a header? Bro, a defender literally scored a header. Okay, if we're putting it like that, then yeah, give me more of that, bro. I want my defender to score headers, bro. But there's nothing. He scored a header. Literally just scored a header.
Did someone put that for real? Was that a troll?
No, somebody put that for real.
That was Sebi, 100%.
It wasn't Sebi.
Bro, the guy scored a header. So fucking what? Bro, do you know what? Don't give me no more of that, because I don't want to see him in the team. So don't give me no more of that. Someone else can use his celebration.
Elijah, give me more of that. Maguire's goal versus Chelsea. Give me something, mate.
I think that was such an important game, because if we don't win that game, like we lose touch of Chelsea. But I think we'd have been 8 points behind. And first off, he didn't play well at all. He somehow managed to conjure a goal out of nothing. And then the Maguire goal, like, it was crazy. The celebration for that goal was actually mad. Like, you could see the away fans going mad. Like, all the players came to celebrate everything. It felt like that was the moment where, like, our top four charge really big began for me. Like, you could tell that was such an important win for the players to get. And, like, the way we managed to shithouse that win, like, Chelsea had 2 goals ruled out because of VAR. Like Chelsea actually had a lot of chances that game. Didn't play well. Was playing that 3-5-2 formation where James was just running about doing anything for him. But yeah, man. Yeah, I think that moment, because the celebrations for that goal was crazy, man. It was actually insane. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, cool. And the final, give me more of that. Penalties. I mean,
hey, inject that.
Manchester United.
More of that.
In my veins. I want 30 next season. I want 30.
Trust me.
Manchester United. You had guys putting together penalty comps.
I want a player to get 20 goals off of pens in the Prem, fam. That's how much we need, man.
Give it to Rush.
If anyone's going to get those, it's going to be Bruno. Somebody put together Bruno's comp, and that 60% of it was penalties.
Bro, that guy is just sick, bro.
The way his PR is, if Bruno gets 20 penalties, he'll win the Ballon d'Or.
Oh, facts. That's a fact. That is a fact. That's a fact.
Oh gosh,
the way rival fans hate it is beautiful, man.
Honestly, I'm not fussed, but the fact they hate it so much,
it makes me laugh so much, man.
Mate, you give me that drug, man. If that's give me more of that, man.
And like last season, I think we had 3. Like, you don't realise that if
we had loads of penalties last season because Pogba got 12 and like he scored like 9 penalties.
I think it was the season before.
It's like been a myth since Fergie's gone that we've had loads of pens.
I used to say that.
And in a way,
that's a pen under Fergie. Yeah,
I know I've caped for Ollie tonight already, but like that's on Ollie. The fact that he's playing attacking football, like he's got players in the box getting fouled. If you look under Van Gaal, when we were just playing it along our own 18-yard box, we
didn't get pens, you know.
Never.
Because we were never in their box.
We were never. Remember when the stats used to come out? You know, when United are doing shit, there's always new stats, and new stats always come out. So under Van Gaal, it was we were never in the box. Yeah, chances created. We're never in the box. I used to hate it because it would only ever happen to United. Like there will always be a new stat coming.
A new metric specifically related to United shit.
It made no sense, bruv.
That's influence. We're cultural influencers, man. So cool. With that being said, what is the biggest flex of the year? I mean, I know what I think it should be, but what do you think is the biggest flex of the year, boys?
Well, give me more of that.
You mean give me more of that?
Give me more of that, yeah. Thank you. Someone was listening. So we've got Fernandez's second goal against Brighton, Rashford against Spurs, Maguire versus Chelsea, the 2-1 away versus City, Martial's hat-trick, Martial's goal against Watford, and penalties.
Maguire, definitely. Just to see Timmy's face.
The defender scored a header, okay. Yeah, who are we giving it to, lads? Who are you giving it to, lads?
I'm giving it to
my
Rush.
vote. I want Martial's goal. Pure silk.
I'm taking penalties, boy.
I'm not mad at pens though, and I'm not mad at Fernandez's goal. Like that, like whoever said that did feel like the old United.
That was the old United. I'm going Fernandez's goal.
Cool. So I've got one for Fernandez's goal. I've got one for penalties. Got one for Rash. I've got one for, what did you say, Danny?
Maguire.
No,
I didn't. I'll go with Fernandez.
Elijah?
I'm going to go with Fernandez too.
Cool. So give me more of that. Award goes to our second goal, which started from Matic, finding Greenwood. Greenwood playing it right in stride to Fernandez, and Fernandez sweetly putting into the back of the net on the half volley. Cool. So while the first two had different answers from every person who submitted a vote, the last three have clear winners. So firstly, I'll start with some of the runners-up. So this is biggest L, so that's moment for the game or from the season that you felt we took the biggest loss in. First one was Daniel James's goal against Saints for the false hope that it brought. that it made some people think that we had a player on our hands. Actually, we don't.
You know what? Oh. I was fooled, you know.
This is my one.
maybe this guy might be a little something. And then in the international break, he scored for Wales. I said, yeah.
Yeah, give me more of that. Give me more of that. That should have been your give me more of that. His goal his goal for Wales. Yeah, give me more of that. Cool. Yeah,
basically,
so Daddy,
he's turned up to Nando's and you realise that all his Tinder photos had filters on. Like, I honestly thought he was going to be a baller. Like, I thought he's like, oh, these are the signings that we used to make, these little gems that no one's heard of, and then we pay 15 mil, and then he's going to pop in, and he looked phenomenal. That goal against Saints where he just shifted it and pinged it top bin, like he looked great. And then you just realise it's like it's just Dwayne Chambers, isn't it? Like he's just fast.
I can't believe we forgot James's celebration versus Palace.
Yeah, Palace.
Oh man,
that is my
that was a supreme L.
You know what? I'm changing my vote. The biggest flex.
That is my favorite moment of the season by far.
Cool. That's a late nominee for biggest L. So I'm gonna go through the others. I'm gonna tell you what the winner is, and then you guys can decide if you want to give it to James's celebration or the 2-0 home, loss to Burnley. Which one's a bigger L?
Mate, I can't stop thinking about that celebration now.
I can't give that celebration an L. That's one of my favorite moments of the season.
Yeah, that was too funny. That's not an L because he actually thought he did something.
Bro, do you know how shameless you have to be?
Like he literally thought, that was it.
That's a serious L.
He thought that was it.
He thought
that was it. That was beautiful.
We weren't even winning, bro. That is an L and a half. You need your teammates to come and drag you. That's a fucking L, bro.
Bro, this guy stood there with his arms folded like he'd done a bad thing.
Like he felt like Zlatan. He felt like Zlatan.
It was like the end of Kano's Fire in the Booth. I don't know whether you've seen it.
Yeah.
It's just like...
my days. No.
It was awful.
That is a supreme L.
No, for me, that was funny, man. I'm not giving that as an L, bro.
Give me more of that. I want to
give me more of that, man. I need to see more shamelessness.
It is hilarious.
I need to see more shamelessness, bro.
You know, I want to see Maguire score a header.
Embarrassing.
I want to see Maguire score a header and then pull that celebration.
Yeah.
Tony Yayo dance. Tony Yayo dance in the corner.
Come on, man. That was embarrassing.
1-1 in the 90th minute against Leeds at home, and you go. That James, he needs to go try for war crimes.
That's excellent.
Harold Maguire, Millie rocking at Ellen Road.
That's beautiful.
Scoring a consolation goal. 4-1 loss.
That's beautiful.
So what is the loss? So are we sticking with the 2-0 loss to Burnley?
The loss to Burnley, man.
Okay, cool. Our next one is cast member of the year. Again, a clear winner, but I'm going to go through some of the runners up. So, Michael, you got a vote for being a key worker. And
a key. Oh, I respect that.
You know, and
nothing to do with the pod, but I respect it.
Obviously, you know your consistency too, but obviously being a key.
That's fucking shit, man.
It's
That's
like
not elite mentality. That's not elite mentality. We don't do that shit around here, man.
No, it's like when you scout a player and you're like, he's actually a good guy as well.
Yeah, he's a good guy. What we saying? We're saying that Michael's the McTominay of the pod.
No, come on. That vote for Michael's like when we all thought Sanchez was nice because he had dogs.
I don't want that now, you know.
Listen,
you shouldn't take that, man. You shouldn't take that.
Your vote is Sanchez's dogs, man.
Like, all these people here, you're the only one who's ever hosted another piece of Muga content, man. You're my cast member of the year. Don't listen to Seb. Don't listen to Seb.
What's that Morales look? Yeah.
No, that wasn't my vote. I didn't vote for any of these, but I'm giving him a vote now because you guys are trying to laugh at my guy Michael. Somebody else who got the vote was Rodney, the cast member of the year. I mean, we love Rodney. If he's not shouting at our listeners, he's offering guys out for a fight, he's having productive pods or not. Obviously, he's not here to accept his runners-up award, but yeah, Rodney's name was on there. Someone voted for me. I mean, I'm not even in the running for it, so that shows you the influencer, gargantuan, generational.
Gargantuan. Yeah,
but with all that being said, our cast members.
Oh, come on, man! It's easy.
Ever gonna be one person? Come
on, mate. Hey.
Maybe.
Hey.
Come on.
Do you know what? Yeah, if I'm being honest, I was gonna be humble, but I thought I was gonna win it anyway because
Good guy.
This is why you should have voted for him.
No, do you know what it is? Yeah. Let me be real. Listen, I was gonna vote for myself, but I thought, you know what? Let me vote for Mariah because if I vote for myself twice, it's fucked. Like, doesn't make no sense. It makes zero. I'm joking. Cheers. Thanks.
Gracious as always.
Cheers, thanks. I'm joking.
Nice one, Sebi.
I voted Michael, right? And I was honestly expecting Timmy to be like, what? A doctor did some doctoring.
Bro, Michael's, listen.
What do you want me to do, yeah?
Michael is my guy, fam.
A doctor put his scrubs on.
If this you got a vote or something, then I'd be fuming. That bum.
Oh wow! Doctor saved some lives, dude.
Come on. You only saved some lives. Whoa.
Whoa, like the Drake thing. Whoa.
Technically, he's a junior doctor anyway.
Junior, yeah, exactly.
Oh, gosh, cool. And then the final award is the Wayne Rooney Award. So that's the award for the individual who showed the most spirit, or aggression, or nastiness, or humour. Again, we have a winner this time, but I'm going to go through some of the runners-up. Brandon Williams was a nominee for the Wayne.
For aggression, I agree that. For aggression, he's a nasty little lad.
Hey, the way he pushed Cho, I love it.
Yeah, he's got a bit about him. It's got, I agree. I agree with that.
He bought his dad a car, a nice car.
Yeah,
He's a good lad. So he's got the good side and he's got
good
the bad
lads.
side as well.
I like that.
Good lad from a good home. Somebody else who was nominated for the Rooney Award was Scott McTominay.
Throws himself about. My boy Scott.
Bro, McTominay, he's about... Bro, when you say Wayne Rooney Award, like, it's... Like, man are talking like spirit, passion, aggression and all that.
That's
like,
McTominay.
Just because McTom's not good, it don't mean he don't have these things.
Hey, that guy's my up.
It don't mean he don't have these things. He does, man. Like, bro, literally, this Rooney Award is basically the guy that like will just go out there and fight for the badge, basically.
Agreed.
And McTom just personifies that for me, anyway. Like, he'll go out and fight, even though he's shit. He'll go and do this. He'll get in a scrap if he needs to get in a scrap.
He's a footballer playing football,
spirited. Bro. He's not, because he's not good at football. So he's not. He's not good at football. He's not there for his footballing ability.
Hey,
he's there because he gets himself about. He's a bit aggressive and that. He's got heart, you know. But, bro, I don't mind that. You know?
Just get him out of it, man.
Shout out McTom.
I ain't writing him off yet, me.
But you got good mental attributes. So shout out him.
Yeah, man. Just get him out of it, man.
Ollie was also nominated for the Wayne Rooney Awards. Ollie got a Solskjaer.
I voted Ollie, man.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
This guy's votes are bang.
Mate, you want someone to come in and just agree with you?
Go on, Daddy. Explain why you voted for Ollie.
But man voted Michael as cast member of the year, and then he's gone Ollie for Wayne Rooney Award. Don't kill me.
If you
this
get
is what
ill,
you wanted, right? Isn't this what you wanted?
If you get ill, I hope Michael just walks past you, man.
Exactly. Let's respect Michael. Let's respect Michael, man. Let's respect Michael. Let's respect Michael.
You better use your last words to change your vote.
Hey, shout out Michael now. Shout out Michael.
That's funny.
Shout out Michael for real. But yeah, Danny, why Ollie?
Just because I just think he's had a load of shit, and he's one thing you can't level at Ollie. He might be tactically inept. He might not be like right for the job, but the one side he has shown is that he can mix it in the press conference. He says the right things. Like he's had a bit of needle and shit like that. And what I like about him, the reason I voted for him, is the way that he's got rid of the dead wood.
Yeah.
like he showed a ruthless streak there. He's got rid of like people that were club men. Like I expected Ashley Young to be like the kit man when he finished at United. I thought he was just going to be there forever. Ollie just dashed him off.
Ashley Young ask to leave?
Ashley Young is probably one who I wouldn't give him credit for. Ashley Young kicked up his feet. He wanted to go to Italy, but all the other guys, and I reckon Phil Jones is off this summer as well, and probably Marcus Rojo. He's done a great job.
Got rid of Lukaku as well at the time.
That was sick.
That was sick.
At the time, like I was like, we could have done with his goals. He might have scored some goals this year, but he just was it wasn't the way that he wanted to play. It was reminiscent of when Fergie dashed off Van Nistelrooy to change the way that we were going to play with Saha and that, and the fast free up front. And I just think it's cool, man. He's had a lot of shit. He's probably not right for the job, but I don't think he's been overwhelmed. He hasn't been bullied out of the job like I thought he would have been. And that's Rooney wouldn't be bullied. And that's why I voted him for the award. Is that okay, Timmy? Yeah.
I
that's actually pretty good. That's a great monologue, to be honest.
Yeah, that's a great.
I think Timmy liked it too, but you know, Timmy, he's the blood of my enemy, so he's not going to say it.
That was shit. I don't agree with you.
Yeah.
That was fucking shit.
Put that mask back on so I don't see you smiling.
Because Timmy's a passion merchant as well, so I'm sure he shed a tear there with that monologue. And the other person who got a vote was Martial.
What?
Who voted Martial?
Hey, it's got to be Michael. Michael.
It's not Michael.
So
it's got to be Michael.
I voted Rashford. I voted Rashford.
Shall I tell you why it's got to be Michael? Because
it's got to be Michael, but it wasn't. Yeah,
no, because ever since I'm seeing flipping Mark Hughes on the Patreon, I'm looking at him funny.
Nah.
So like that's why I'm like, every bad decision has got to be Michael.
Kanchelskis.
Yeah. Kid got my head now.
Yeah, every obscure 90s legend who actually played the majority of their career in the
football league.
That is in our top 30. That's as a result of Michael, who was in nursery when these guys were playing.
Premier League years, baby. Premier League years.
And so, our winner of the Wayne Rooney Award for this season is a certain Marcus Rashford.
Obviously.
Come on. Well deserved.
I hear that.
MR10 man this year. New man.
He is. So I just want to thank you guys all for your time. That was enjoyable. As we do, it's Muga, in it, so it's always going to bang. What can we say? Zeb, thanks for coming through. Michael, our key worker, key cast member. Thank you for coming through. Danny, always a pleasure. Timmy, we love you, baby. Elijah, again, whatever you're doing, and the reason why you can't show your screen between you and whatever God you worship. But have a lovely evening, sir. And yeah, everybody stay safe. Take care.
Peace.
When I spit bars in a rave, man, I go hard like Santan.